to silent or vibrate mode so you don't disturb everyone. My next step is to introduce any first-time guests or new members, and I think we don't have any of those. So we come to my third job, which is to introduce the Toastmaster. This week is the esteemed Bob Avalone. So please give Bob a big
Thank you, Peter. Dale Carnegie said, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. And I would add, pronounced correctly and using the proper nickname, the preferred nickname. When you meet somebody new, for example, if you see their name in print, please, if it's not obvious, ask them how to pronounce it, or if you make an attempt, say, have I got that right? And then with the first name, if a person has a name that commonly has nicknames, find out how they like to be called. And sometimes you have to write your formal name. But I, for example, do not like to be called Rob. I like to be called Bob. So you want to say, where do you go? You go by Bob, you go by Rob, Robbie, Bob, Bobby. That's my advice. Myself, I will answer my own question that I wrote. I got some excellent answers about your name origin. My first name, Robert, was given to me by my parents because they wanted a very common American name. They both were Italian. All their parents were Italian in origin, and they had Italian names they didn't like. They both changed their names. And my father particularly had three names, and he didn't like that, so he gave me just one name, Robert. I was called Robert or Bobby as a child. When I got into high school, I adopted, they started calling me Bob, and I used that ever since. I'm not really close to my paternal grandfather. Of my four grandparents, I was at least close to him. But I did research where my name came from, and it comes from the Italian Vallone, meaning in a deep valley or a gorge. So they probably had the DR as of the deep valley, and then eventually it became Avalone. As you know, as Rob always reminds you of how to pronounce my name, it's often pronounced incorrectly. In Italian, they pronounce every word. It sounds exactly the way it's written. But I have noticed other people with the same spelling that do pronounce it differently. They pronounce it Avalone. So it's not exactly wrong, but I'm trying to live up to honor my father and my uncles and continue the tradition of pronouncing it the way they pronounced it. So we'll now go on to the meeting, and our first item, I'm going to ask the timer to just explain the cards and how the timing works. Because we've had in the past people confused about that. Can you just explain how the cards work, Peter?
In 30 seconds.
Each speaker or role has a specific time interval, which is listed on the agenda. At the beginning of that time interval, I show the green card. In the middle of that time interval, I show the yellow card. At the end of the time interval, I show the red card. And 30 seconds after that point, I put up the stop now card, which means you should definitely stop it in the middle of the sentence if you need to.
The next item, thank you, Peter. The next item on our agenda is to introduce our distinguished President Rob Kanzer. Rob.
Thank you, Bob, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it nice when you have the sense that people are listening and with you? Well, I had the pleasure this morning or this afternoon to have the attention of our board. You can see here the names of the people on our board and the names of some people who are not officially on our board but are definitely helpful. And there were 2 women absent that we did not forget in how helpful they have been to us, and we acknowledge them now. Julie and Jane, we appreciate you for all you've done so far, and we're looking forward in whatever capacity you might be able to contribute. It makes for a full and warm-hearted gathering. So it's really wonderful to be here this afternoon with you. My last name, Kanzer, came from Latvia and maybe Lithuania. It was a little bit unclear. I'm 3rd-generation American. It used to be a longer name, Kanzer. So one of the relatives arrived at Ellis Island, and as often happens, their name is chopped. So Kanzer is easier than Kanzer, except sometimes it's confused with a deadly disease, and people get confused about it. So I like to say, if you have a deadly disease, I will remove it from you with my charm. I will rob Kanzer. Yeah. You have to play the cards you're dealt. That's how that works. We are inviting everyone again to our next meeting, which the board will indicate is when?
We'll say
Thursday, August 8th. And who is welcome to come to the board meeting? Everybody, all board members. So we covered 3 main areas. The scheduling of the room. We talked about officers. We gave acknowledgement to Al Davis and Chris Bassett, who've done an excellent job and who are in various ways going to be doing less on the board. So we're looking to fill their big shoes. And we talked about pathways. And what we discovered in pathways is Jane Trider is the #1 success person in managing a swamp. She is absolutely indefatigable, and she's recognized also by her employer. So Jane, kudos to you and Peter Ash, who's sitting in as our timer, for doing some preliminary work to help the rest of us. You'll find out more about this in the meetings ahead. And I will close by saying, when these technological questions come up, there will be a live computer at every meeting, already connected to the internet, and sometimes Chris and sometimes Bob will stay after to help you with technology. Thank you, everyone. We're looking forward to a great meeting.